Hello, let's look at this question. Find d square square y over ds square for y equals to 4x cubed plus 3x minus 2. In one of our classes, I explained to you that Newton realized that the planets were held in their orbits around the sun. So this was done by the force of gravity. So he needed a way to solve this equation. That was why he brought the method of calculus. So the idea of calculus made it easier to solve the equation. Instead of using the long old method, he brought the idea of calculus, which is what we're trying to solve now. Now if we have a question like this, d square y over ds square for y equals to this. This is called the second derivative. We'll be working on the first derivative. But before we use the second derivative, we have to use the first derivative. Now, how do we do this? Now, you have to solve this individually. So to solve this individually, we are going to use the first derivative, which is dy over ds, first of all. So for 4x cubed, we're going to have, you multiply this by 4, you multiply your s by 4, then reduce it by 1. So you have 4 times 3. Then you have x raised to power 3 minus 1. Reduce it by 1. Same thing you do here. Plus 3. This is 3s raised to power 1. So you have 3 times x. 3 times 1. So in bracket x raised to power 1 minus 1. I told you minus 2 is constant. So when we have the minus 2, when we have a number constant, we make it 0. So this is going to be 0. So minus 2 is equals to 0. So 0 means nothing. So now do we solve this now? We're going to have 4 times 3 will give you 12. So you have x raised to power 3 minus 1, which will give you 2. Plus 3 times 1 will give you 3. You have x raised to power 1 minus 1, which will give you 0. Now, in mathematics, if you have 12x raised to power 2 plus 3x raised to power 0 in math is 1. So you are going to have 3 times 1. That's what it means. So you're going to have 12s squared plus 3. This is the first derivative. Now we're going to use this first derivative to solve for the second derivative. From the question, we are told to look for the second derivative. So how do we solve for the second derivative? So we're going to solve it this way. So we have 12s squared plus 3. So now we're going to do the same thing we did in the first derivative. We take this first one, 12s squared. 12s squared is going to give us what? 12 times 2 raised to power 12 times 2, that I multiplied by the power, then I reduce the power by 1, plus 3 is constant, and 3, I told you when it's constant is equals to 0. So you're going to have, what you're going to have here, 12 times 2 will give you what? 24. So you have s raised to power 2 minus 1, which will give you 1. So you're going to have 24x as your final answer. So your d square y over ds square is equals to 24x. So this is the derivative 2 from this question we are given. This is the derivative 1. Have a good day. Thank you.